Hello YouTube, this is DJ Zolgates Trains. What you're looking at here is a little computerized plot I did with some old MTH railroad track plotting software that I have. Didn't take very long to do. I just jotted down the existing track plan that I have and added that pond area that you see. A few videos ago I showed you a lift bridge that I got in, and that lift bridge is going to go right there crossing the pond. So this is what's coming down the line, and we have this little yard area here. You could see the tracks that go into the water. That's going to be a float bridge. I'm going to put an adapter track section there and change the track type to either Gargraves or scale tracks, something that I could work with to build a real float bridge. And that's what that will be there. The track directly to the left of the float bridge is an engine storage track, and then the track to the left of that is going to be storage for the Vision Line reefers. Looking to maybe build an icing station or something like that there. And so that's what we got going on. And then you can see this other little spur track right there. That's going to be for my cattle car. So the cattle car with sounds will be able to park there at a cattle pen, meat packing facility, and it'll look really cool there. We are also going to be changing around this living room, my wife and I, and help from my mom as well. We are going to change the wall color, we're going to repaint, we're also going to get new furniture, and we are going to make this more of an all-purpose room, a room that we can have company in and just give it a fresh new look. And I'll be able to set up the trains and break them down as I need to, and I'll be able to have company over to see the trains. People are intrigued by them. They're intrigued by my hobby, so I'd like to definitely open up the house to show them and to, help to advance the hobby a little bit more. That would be really cool. If I could get some people interested in it, that would be awesome. Not that they have to buy these huge, expensive trains and make the investment I've made into it, but even if they get a small set or just, having a small appreciation for it, that's awesome. I'd be very, very happy with that. I'd love to be able to contribute a little bit to keeping the hobby going. I feel that technology, such as in this Legacy Diesel that you see here, is what really is pushing the hobby forward. When I was a little kid, there was really no sound sets in the trains at all. They just ran with a transformer on a loop of track, and as much as I loved trains, that was boring. My interest for trains died out until MTH started putting Proto Sounds 2.0 sound systems in subway sets, and that's what really got me back into it. I love subways. I grew up around New York City, and as a little kid, I was fascinated by the maze of track that was underground and just by the look of these really weird and ugly, interesting trains. And it's what really drove me into the hobby was seeing subways as a kid. And I made it my business to memorize the entire New York City subway system as a little kid. And without the guidance of a map or anything, I would take my family around the city to different places. And that's what really stirred up my passion for trains. And as I got older, my interest curved from the subways into these huge classic passenger trains and the history behind them. And I just love the Golden Gate Depot sets. Between the Golden Gate Depot and the MTH Rail King subways, those are my absolute favorites to collect. And I love Lionel Legacy, and I do have a few Legacy pieces in my collection, but what really drives me is the subways and the Golden Gate Depot stuff. But what I really think drives the hobby forward and will continue to drive the hobby forward is the Legacy and the Vision Line technology, and also MTH's Proto Sounds 3.0 being installed in so many different scales of trains, and also them venturing out into the European market. I really think that Lionel and MTH both have fantastic business strategies, and they're both catering to all markets, and it's awesome. And I think the technology will continue to drive the hobby forward. Also, what's intriguing people is the prototypical accuracy that's now finally starting to be implemented on Lionel models. The road-specific details is really, it really gets people interested in the history behind the locomotives that they're buying. Rather than just buying a really nice piece of technology, they're buying a piece of history too, and it's a really good educational experience. And I'm just real happy with the way that the hobby's going, the direction it's going in. And my only real negative thing to say is that the prices are just going up and up and up. It's getting crazy. And I know it's beyond a lot of the manufacturer's control because the stuff is produced overseas. But at the same time, if it continues to go up, it's going to be very difficult for people to continue to make large purchases and buy these really nice, expensive models. The Allegheny, for example, was only about $50 cheaper than the Vision Line Big Boy. And the only feature it really has, other than standard legacy, is the whistle steam smoke effect. So I love the Allegheny. It's a beautiful, beautiful piece. But if the price is going to keep getting pushed up like that, it's going to be very difficult for people to stay in the hobby. And so that's my only negative. I really feel like the prices need to stay where they're at or even come down a little bit. And I think that would really stabilize the hobby for, the coming decades. So that's really what I have to say. I just wanted to show you my layout plot real quickly and just give you a little bit of an opinion on the hobby and the future. And I wanted to wish everybody happy railroading and a happy new year and just success for 2017. And that's going to be it for me for a while. I've got a lot of work to do with this living room. I've got to get back to work myself and make a living. And the trains are going to have to be put on the shelf for a little while, but on those rainy days I will weather models and will tinker around, and I might make some short videos time to time. But that's going to be it for a while. So this is DJ Soulgage Trains, and happiness and success to everybody. Cheers and happy railroading. Bye-bye.